Hello and welcome to the RANsquawk Weekly Wrap-Up video. So we're just going to take a moment to answer a couple of questions that you've sent into the desk this week. So the first question we're going to answer is regarding today's non-farm payroll figure that we saw. So we did welcome back investors from the festive period, and today's non-farm payroll figure was the highlight of this week. So in terms of the figure, coming in at plus 200k, that's against a consensus for 155k. It's quite a considerable beat there on the headline. We also saw unemployment coming at 8.5%, so this was down 0.2% from the consensus of 8.7%, so a decent drop there in unemployment. There was an initial spike to the upside in the S&P 500 futures, however this was quickly retraced. So taking a breakdown of the figures, the birth death adjustment was minus 11. It's also worth considering of the seasonal factors built into the data, so we did see quite a decent sell-off from the data afterwards, and that was the theme at the opening bell on Wall Street as well. We did see some initial weakness in the equity markets. So in terms of some of these seasonal figures, it was announced before Christmas that UPS and Macy's, amongst a couple of other retailers, were looking to hire in the region of 170,000 seasonal workers over the Christmas period. In particular, a Morgan Stanley analyst did note regarding UPS that they had hired something like 40,000 couriers over the festive period. So this was one of the reasons noted for the weakness. In terms of the unemployment number out of the US, some people also noted the fact that this decline in the unemployment was more due to members in the US dropping out of the labour force rather than a direct decline in unemployment due to job creation. So in terms of the coming week, we're really looking forward to US corporate earnings as we kick off earnings season. So we do have Alcoa starting on Monday, that's after market, so we'll be keeping a firm eye on their figures and for any movements in Alcoa share price on Monday. Some other notable names to look out for next week. We have Tiffany's and Chevron reporting, and then JP Morgan, the first of the major banks, will be on Friday, so that could well be a bellwether for the rest of the performance out of the US banks during this earnings season. So the other question is regarding the BOE and ECB rate decisions next week. So it has been a relatively quiet start for the Eurozone so far. In this coming week, however, it will spark to life next week, so we have the rate decisions. In terms of the BOE, it is widely expected that they will keep their rates on hold at 0.5%. It's also expected by most economists that the BOE will not announce any further QE at the current time. This is due to some comments out of the BOE from their MPC members that they will not really do this until the end of the current amount of QE that the BOE is currently conducting. So this is scheduled to finish sometime in February, so we could well look ahead to February's rate decision before the BOE announces any possibility of further QE. In terms of the ECB, this will be the President Draghi's third rate decision and following ECB rate conference. In terms of what we're expecting, most economists are expecting rates to be kept on hold at 1%, so we have seen two 25 basis point cuts in the previous two rate decisions. However, it is widely expected to remain unchanged in this occurrence. At the preceding conference, it is expected that there's not going to be any huge announcements regarding policy decisions, and this time after the preceding conference where we had the ECB announce two LTRO operations for the 3-year period. So it's worth noting that the next 3-year LTRO operation will be on the 28th of February, so it's unlikely that the ECB are going to announce any further measures. However, one thing that the ECB may well highlight is a slight stabilisation in the European economy in the recent month or so. This is also due to some pickup in some of the European industrial manufacturing data as well. So in terms of next week, could offer not a great deal of surprises, but we will keep a firm eye on any outcomes from the Eurozone leaders and in particular ECB Draghi's conference next week. So that's it from us for the week. We hope you've had a great week and enjoyed your first week back. and we look forward to bringing you further news on Monday, and we hope you have a great weekend.